Hello everyone and welcome to the closing of CAiSE 2021. What an experience this week running a conference online. I can see that everyone must be really tired of so many Zoom meetings. It's never the same as having a conference face to face. What we are all missing is the ability to network, the occasional chat in the corridor, the coffee break, and of course, the parties and the social events. So it's with regret that we had to turn this conference online and we couldn't host you here in beautiful Melbourne, but I'm sure there will be many more occasions in the future. This pandemic cannot last forever, history tells us. So I would like really to briefly close by thanking everyone behind the scenes. You might have only seen a few faces, but there has been a whole entourage of people in our research group that has been helping to make this conference a success. I'd like to thank Laura Julif as the organizing chair, Shazia Sadiq and Ernest Teniente as the program committee chairs, Stephanie Rinderlema and Artem Poliviani as the workshops chairs, Axel Korthaus and Selmi Nurkan as the CAiSE forum chairs, and then the chairs of the co-located events, the workshops, the publicity chairs, and of course, the steering committee represented by Johan Eder. So this is just a see you later, mate, rather than a goodbye from Melbourne. And I would like to pass the word to Monique Snook and Gert Poels to talk a bit about what we all hope to be a face-to-face conference in Belgium next year. So Monique and Gert, you can take the word.
Thank you very much, Marcelo. And thank you very much also the whole team of CAiSE 21 for the wonderful job that you did. I mean, despite the fact that I think we're all very sorry we couldn't go to Australia, but despite we couldn't travel, it was nevertheless a really good conference. So thanks a lot for the amazing job that you did. And like Marcelo said, I think we all long for a face-to-face conference, and hopefully next year we will be able to invite you all in person to Leuven. And the conference will take place early June this time, so between the 6th and the 10th of June. And let me introduce you, the website is already live, so you can go and check out the website and see all the call for papers, all the information, location, etc. But let me nevertheless walk you through a few, say, highlights of the conference. So first of all, organizing committee are Frédéric Gailly from the University of Ghent, because the organization is a joint effort from the University of Ghent and the University of Leuven. So Frederick and I are going to take up the roles of organizing committee or general chairs. And then Geert Poels, together with Xavier French, are going to be the program committee chairs. And then of course we have a whole team of workshop chairs, tutorial chairs, doctoral consortium, and so on. I'm not going to list them all now. You can find all the names on the website together with the call for papers they prepared. So we chose to hold the conference in Leuven. But anyhow, Leuven and Ghent both are in Belgium, and that's the land of beer, chocolate, fries, mussels, waffles, comic strips, Tomorrowland, although it won't take place this year. They just decided that it cannot take place, so we'll have to wait one more year to have that one. It's at the heart of Europe, as you can see, so it's really in the center of Europe. It's the capital of the province of Flemish Brabant, so it's in Flanders, and there in the center of Flanders you have Flemish Brabant. It's a small city with about 100,000 inhabitants and almost as many students as inhabitants, and it's a stone throws away from Brussels. There are a lot of restaurants and pubs because, of course, we have enough students to have a good business for restaurants and pubs. It's the #1 beer city. You can have all the beers you like. You have a lot of architectural patrimony. The bars on the Old Market are said to be the longest bar in Europe. And there's really a nice atmosphere. It's a quiet city, well, quiet in the sense of it's a very safe city to be. The conference facility will be a college, an old college. So it's with a square courtyard. And in the middle of the courtyard, you have our Aula Magna, which is used to be our largest auditorium. In the meantime, we have built new ones, of course. And there's a smaller one, and both of these are a bit circular shaped. You see the pictures at the bottom. And then around the courtyard, you have in the buildings on the left and the right and the front, you have a lot of smaller rooms that will be used for BPMDS, the working conference, MSAT, for the workshops, etc., etc. But during the breaks, you can all enjoy a bit of good weather in the patio. Next to that, we will also make use of the Jubilee Hall, and the Jubilee Hall is 2 streets away. And we chose that hall because it's large enough to hold, say, everything that we need for the catering, for posters, sponsor booths. It's actually located in the headquarters of the university and really in the middle of the historical center. There's a small walk from the one to the other. So as you can see here, it's a 2 minutes walk from where the auditoria are to the Jubilee Hall. So this will be a good reason to stretch a bit your legs after sitting for a long time, listening to presentations. And as you can see in the larger scale map, the area where we are is surrounded by pubs and restaurants. So you will have plenty of food in the evening, or even if you want to grab a coffee, rather in a cafe rather than in the Jubilee Hall, that will also be easy to do. We have, as Marcelo said, we are longing for our social events. So we have a busy agenda of social events. On Monday evening, we plan to have a barbecue in the courtyard of Museum M, or if the weather doesn't permit to sit in the garden, we will sit inside. And that's for all the attendees of MSAT, BPMDS, and all the workshops. Then on Tuesday, we plan to have a reception in the Jubilee Hall. And then on Wednesday, we plan to have the conference dinner in the Beguinage. The Beguinage of Leuven is a piece of UNESCO World Heritage. It's a collection of very, very old houses. It's a medieval place. It's quite nice. It's really, yeah, a bit of, like it's written here, bewitching piece of pure tranquility in the heart of the city. And inside that Beguinage, there's a restaurant, a faculty club. Those who were in Leuven at a poem conference in 2017 will have already been in the faculty club. So it's going to be the same restaurant where we have a huge room that we can use for our conference dinner. If weather permits, we can have the reception outside. And then, of course, last but not least, on Thursday evening, we plan to have a conference party, and we will do that in a hipster area of Leuven that is completely renovated. There's a little harbor and water and boats, and you can walk there. It's really nice. And there's this old brewery, and we will dance in between the kettles, the beer kettles. That's the plan. We also plan an optional visit to Ghent. So the people who arrive a bit early at the conference on Sunday, we will provide a package and guidance to take the train from Leuven to Ghent. And then you can visit the Castle of the Cowns, you can go and watch the Ghent altarpiece, you can visit the Grasslei, there's a museum, the Smack, and there's of course the street artist Roa. And so there's a lot of things to visit in Ghent. And so those who want to visit Ghent, you will receive the necessary information to do that. You can either do that on the Sunday before, or if you stay a bit longer, you can do it in the weekend after CAiSE. There's a very easy train connection between Leuven and Ghent. So it's really easy to go from one to the other. Traveling to Leuven, well, the best option is to travel to Brussels, of course, and then there is a 15-20 minutes train ride between Brussels and Leuven by train, if it's from the airport. If you arrive in the city center of Brussels, so if you arrive by train to Brussels, for example, from Paris or from Amsterdam or whatever, then it's a half-an-hour train ride. But from the airport, it's just 15 minutes train ride to Leuven. So your options are arrive by plane to the airport, and then the best airport is Brussels International Airport. You can take Brussels South Charleroi Airport, but then the traveling to Leuven is a bit longer. Then you have to take about an hour before you reach Leuven. So Brussels International Airport is definitely the better choice. You can also, if you live already in Europe, you can come by train, or if you were in another place in Europe before that, you can take the train to Brussels Midi station. You have the high-speed trains arriving there, and then from there it's a half-an-hour train ride to the Leuven train station. At the train station in Leuven, there are plenty of taxis available, but it's also only a 15 minutes walk to the city center. There are plenty of hotels in Leuven. We will put a list of hotels on the website. You can choose whatever you like as a hotel. It will never be more than 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes walking from the conference location. So that's really easy. And we will make sure that we put the necessary information in the railway station so that when you arrive, you know where to go. Like I said, all the call for papers are already available on the website. So you can go to the website, CAiSE22.org. And thank you to the team of Marcelo for making it such a great website. We could just reuse it, so that was really easy for us. So that's really great. And you can find all the call for papers there. You can find all the dates already there. So you can already plan for when to write your papers, submit your workshop proposal, the tutorial you want to do, the demo you want to do, whatever it is you want to do. So I would say, go ahead, take a good break. During your break, you can start thinking creatively about what you want to do next year, and then write it up and submit, and see you in Leuven next year. So that was it.
Thank you very much, Monique. We really hope to have a beer together in Leuven next year, a real beer face to face. So, Johan, you might want to say a few closing remarks.
Well, there are fantastic options for the next year. Thank you very much, Monique and Gert, for putting that all together. And I hope, you know, we all live in a cyber physical world now. This year it was cyber. Let's hope next year it's physical, and we can meet again in 3D and not only 2D. So we are very looking forward. But I also want to thank all the organizers of CAiSE 21, who did a tremendous job in spite of all the difficulties. And I think you provided us with a great environment, a great program. And we kept, I think, the spirit of CAiSE, of the community that forms the CAiSE conference series. And Marcello listed all the people who contributed, and there are, I know, a lot of people also not mentioned. And Marcello, please extend our deep, deep gratitude to all who contributed to this success, to all the helping hands. But also many, many thanks to you and Laura, because, you know, it takes somebody who chairs the thing, who is responsible and who looks after everything. And we are very grateful that you provided us such a nice virtual environment to come together, at least with the means we now have. Okay, I think it was a great conference. We are all very, very sorry that we are not able to go physically to Australia. We do hope that Australia is putting up a new proposal sometime in the future. So you don't get rid of us. And I think we give you a rain check for a physical meeting after the pandemic
We'll see. We'll see.
is over. And with that, I think I can close this year's CAiSE conference, and I'm looking forward to meet you all next year in Leuven. Goodbye.
Thank you, Johan, and thank you to the whole steering committee, and thank, of course, to all the participants. We had nearly 1,000 registrations all in all.
Wow.
Wow, really great.
Yeah.
So now I was telling Gert in the chat, I need to catch some sleep because the Euro 2020 match Italy against Belgium is at 5 a.m. here. So I need to go to bed to be ready for the match.
Yes.
Let's see who laughs tomorrow.
Yes. We are not too confident.
Enjoy
Yes.
summer.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.